Yeah.
What I will be talking about is systematic racism and oppression. If you don't know what that is, systematic racism and oppression is the idea or the concept that the system is built so that white males and white females can succeed while every other minority does not succeed, or while everybody else fails and is put in a position to where they fail. Some things that we need to realize that come into play when we talk about this is, number one, mass incarceration of minorities, especially African American males. Number two, the school systems and how the school systems are set up for the richer white public schools, as harsh as that may sound, or as generalized as that may sound, to succeed, while the urban black and minority schools, Hispanic schools, lower funded schools are set up to fail. So I'm going to jump straight into it. Systematic racism. So when you talk about systematic racism, a lot of the time people don't know what it is, or people don't understand what it is. Well, I'm going to give you just a story for you to follow, just so you can understand where I'm coming from. Growing up, I went to Thomasville High School. It's in a small urban town. It's a small, predominantly black town, right? So a lot of the students in my school were predominantly black. It was a predominantly black school. I went to school with black people. There were white people and there were Hispanics, but it was a predominantly black school, and it was a school dominated by the minorities of this country, like Hispanics and black people. Compared to my friends that went to High Point Central, I could off the bat see that we didn't have the same resources. We didn't have the money that they did. We didn't have the classes that they did. We didn't have the just the lifestyle coaching that they had. And when I say that, I mean they didn't give us the same things that they gave them, like financial classes on how to manage their finances, and classes on how to apply for college, and how to write essays and stuff like that. We didn't have those resources. We were basically already so short. They basically didn't give us a way out. They didn't tell us that college was an option, and if they did, they said college was the only option. So we were stuck at a deadlock to where people that didn't feel like they were smart enough to go to college because they weren't given the resources to feel smart enough. You get what I'm saying? So that's a part of the system. It's just a way that the system works, and Thomasville, where I'm from, is just a small case, right? We have schools in California, bigger state, in Texas, bigger states, New York Cities. There's plenty of schools, underfunded schools, who don't have enough resources, as much resources as their rich counterparts, right, in order to do what they need to. And this is all a part of systematic oppression. This is how they oppress us at a ground level, right? This is how they get us before we even get started. Education is the one thing nobody can take from you, and if they don't give you that, you're out of luck. Now let's talk about the mass incarceration of black and the minorities. Currently today, African Americans make up 78% of the United States prison population. That is an astounding number, right? Research was done by the Washington Post, and that's what they found. That's so astounding to think about when you realize that a lot of these cases are small, minor cases, like small drug charges and things that very easily could have been handled in a different way. They didn't have to go to jail, but the system is rigged so they do go to jail. And I think it's kind of funny that somebody can kill an African American male, right, and get no time just because he's a cop, but an African American male gets pulled over for having maybe 2 grams of marijuana, and he's going to jail. I mean, it's pretty ridiculous, and it's being done at an alarming rate, right? Our African American males are going to prison faster than anybody can even blink, right? And it's all in part to try to take away our voice as an African American community. And the reason why the government uses this racial oppression and they oppress us the way that they do is to take away our voice. It's important to realize that if they incarcerate our men, right, and leave us uneducated that our voice won't matter, right? If so many of our black population that really does represent the African American voice, if they're not educated, right, and their black males are in prison because they don't have another way out. See, the only thing that the only way out is selling drugs, right? And where does that result you? Right into prison, right? And now they have no education, so even when they come out of prison, where are they stepping to? Back to where they came. So I mean, it's an endless cycle that has been put, it's almost like a curse of this cycle that's been put on our African American males, and it almost just hurts us as a people. Yeah, just like